President Bongbong Marcos approves the law amending fixed terms in the armed forces. Senator Robin Padilla wants to impose the death penalty on law enforcers involved in smuggling. And Pag-asa warns that the El Nino could extend until the first quarter of 2024. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Sean Yao. The Armed Forces of the Philippines welcomes the amendments on the fixed-term law. In a statement, AFP spokesperson Colonel Medel Aguilar said the changes will further strengthen professionalism in the military. The move will also ensure the continuity of programs in the organization. President Bongbong Marcos has signed into law a bill amending the fixed terms of key military officials. These include the tours of duty of the AFP chief, commanding generals of the Philippine Army and Air Force, as well as the flag officer in command of the Philippine Navy and the superintendent of the Military Academy. In other news, Kuwait's suspension of new visas to Filipinos will stay in place despite initial talks between the Philippines and the Middle Eastern country. The two-day meeting's agenda are the issues concerning Filipino migrant workers in Kuwait. The Foreign Affairs Department said that the Philippines expressed its full respect to Kuwaiti law. The Philippine delegation also defended their assistance to distressed OFWs in Kuwait, saying that they only take action to ensure the safety and welfare of Filipinos there. And suspended Congressman Arnie Teves says there is still no reason for him to return to the Philippines, calling the charges filed against him as fake news. On Wednesday, the NBI filed multiple counts of murder, frustrated murder, and attempted murder against Teves in relation to the slay of Negros Oriental Governor Roel de Gamo. These charges were filed before the Justice Department. But, speaking to the big story, Teves pointed out that the charges have yet to reach the courts. He said that he will only return to the country if he is treated with a, quote, semblance of fairness. Teves also shared his reaction to the possibility of his expulsion from the House of Representatives. His 60-day suspension period ends on Monday, which means that lawmakers will have to decide on the sanction to be imposed on the suspended congressman. Teves says that although the lower house has promised to protect him once he returns to the Philippines, his life is still more important. And 5 more respondents have been added to the complaint filed by the NBI on the murder of Negros Oriental Governor Roel de Gamo. This is the same complaint where suspended Congressman Arnie Teves was also named as respondent. The involvement of the unidentified respondents in de Gamo's assassination have yet to be disclosed, and as of press time, the complaint has not yet been made public. Congressman Teves, whom authorities have alleged as the mastermind behind the murder, has repeatedly denied the allegations against him. We're bringing you more stories after this quick break. Keep it here on One News.
More than 7,600 islands, filled with flora and fauna, inhabited by more than 100 million people, all in one archipelago. But how did it all begin?
The story of our islands, a natural history.
You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. One senator is pushing for the death penalty in cases where law enforcement agencies are found to be involved in agricultural smuggling. Some lawmakers suspect that government officials are in cahoots with smugglers. Shyla Francisco with the report.
Pwede pong makinig itong dalawang ito. Di ba sa Bureau of Customs kayo? Di ba kayo nahiya? Law enforcement kayo. Pinamumugaran tayo ng smuggling. Sa tingin nyo ba, masaya ako na life imprisonment lang kayo? Magbibigay ako ng panukalang batas na kayo dyan sa Bureau of Customs na kapag kayo napatunayan na involved dito sa smuggling, dapat kamatayan din kayo.
Senator Robin Hood Padilla lost his cool after some Bureau of Customs officials were inattentive during a Senate hearing Thursday morning. But his threat soon turned real as he announced that he filed an amendment seeking death penalty for law enforcers found to be involved in smuggling. Under the Anti-Agricultural Smuggling Act, entities and personalities involved in smuggling may face jail time of 12 to 20 years. But this does not involve government officials. In the same hearing, it was revealed that despite several raids on smuggled agri-products, no smuggler has actually been sent to jail since the enactment of the Anti-Agri-Smuggling Act of 2016. Based on data from the customs, 142 cases have been filed, equivalent to around 2.8 billion pesos in losses for the government. But when asked what happened to these cases, the BOC and the Justice Department seem to be pointing fingers at each other.
When we file these cases, we have to have all the evidences at hand. So, syempre po, ipafile po namin yan sa DOJ, and the DOJ is also very strict. It really happens na nadidismissan po kami ng cases. Kung minsan, kulang lang po kami ng certification or yung naisubmit namin is photocopy, hindi po kami nakapag-submit ng original. Nadidismiss na po siya.
Ang prosecutors namin, nagre-rely po sila sa evidence as well as witnesses and other information or documents provided by the complainants, which in this case is the Bureau of Customs.
Senator Cynthia Villar, meanwhile, put the blame back on BOC. She also pointed out how there are 37 additional cases that weren't even considered as economic sabotage. This means smugglers may not face a non-bailable offense or even jail time.
7 years. Wala miski isa man lang.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Lakas talaga nila sa inyo. Di ba? Wala miski isang example. How can a law na walang na-example? Di ba? O di failure ang law.
Economic sabotage can be considered if the smuggled rice products amount to at least 10 million pesos and at least 1 million pesos for other agri-products. But as it turns out, the amount being declared during the filing of cases is lower than the actual value. According to Villar, this is the fault of examiners who dictate the price since the system is not fully automated yet.
Wala nang pakialam ang examiner dyan. It's all computerized. Kung ano lumabas sa computer, yun ang value. Cannot be questioned. Walang discretion dyan. Kaya ayaw nyo niyan kasi wala kayong discretion.
For its part, the BOC assured senators that customs officials being investigated for smuggling are immediately relieved from their posts. Shyla Francisco, we are One News.
Pag-asa says there's now a 90% chance that El Nino will persist until the first quarter of next year. The State Weather Bureau earlier said that El Nino, which can last up to 8 months, could begin in June of this year. Pag-asa has issued El Nino alerts in April as well as this month. The weather phenomenon can affect agriculture the most, as it did when the country last experienced it back in 2018. Almost 8 billion pesos in agricultural damage was reported back then, with nearly 300,000 farmers affected. El Nino is a phenomenon where sea surface temperatures in the Pacific Ocean become abnormally warm, and below normal rainfall is likely. One News Now will be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News. All sides, all the time.